Well, more depressing news from console gaming here in 2024. These consoles they're supposed to be so advanced, and they use big words again, like, "Oh my God, this is the best console ever made." Yes, it may be, but if it can't output the right FPS, then what's the point of calling it powerful? 30 FPS isn't powerful. It isn't. 30 FPS might have been acceptable on a PC, especially 10 years ago, maybe a little bit older than that. That'd have been a lot more acceptable if your PC ran at 30 FPS. Obviously, we're talking about consoles here, but it's like, obviously, PCs are miles ahead of consoles. They have probably about 2 or 3 upgrades, maybe more, within the sense of GPUs and CPUs, while the console doesn't. It has a refresh. It has like a Pro model, like the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro. Yes, it has them, but even them are mostly just a little bit beefed up in the sense of the system and stuff. A bit of a beefed up GPU. Obviously, the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro were able to output at 4K. I don't know if they were, I think 60 FPS as well. So they were able to output fairly good quality, and obviously it still didn't compare to PCs. I mean, then again, PCs back then, when that came out, couldn't really run 4K that well, especially. But obviously consoles go through an insane amount of optimization just for that. And then again, 4K in that sense really isn't as popular as people put it out to be, even on PC, even with the hardware being capable. So it just really goes to show you that we're going to above and beyond. And consoles being this weak, I mean, it's about nearly 4 years in. Okay, I expect them to drop it down. I don't expect 120 Hz on many games, to be honest. Playing 120 Hz on console, yeah, it works very well and it's a very smooth experience for the games that actually fucking support it, which doesn't seem to be a huge amount from the get-go. So that's kind of a pointless feature, It's like HDR. You're going to have games that actually support HDR. While I do play a fair few games that do support HDR, and HDR is a very good feature, it's not supported by every game. And same with 120 Hz. So it's kind of a feature they bragged about a lot. It's all over the box. Everywhere on the box they mention it and stuff like that. And they can't even do fucking 60 FPS. Heck, I don't scrap the 120 Hz. I don't care about playing at 120 FPS. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me anymore. Yes, it's a smooth, seamless experience, and it's so much more smoother than 60 FPS. But we don't realise how smooth 60 FPS actually is compared to 30 FPS. Like, I played Starfield, and that game, it played decently for 30 FPS. You know what? It didn't have huge frame drops. They did a pretty good job. I know on the PC side of things, it looked pretty rough for a lot of GPUs. It looked pretty fucking rough, and to be honest, that was probably expected. It looked very rough. And the fact that the console could run that at 30 FPS, apparently I think at 4K as well, probably upscaled, I don't know, it's pretty decently impressive, the fact that there was very minimal frame drops that I experienced anyway. But it's still not acceptable. Okay, that game, I'll give it a pass. You definitely should have gave people the option to maybe tweak, lower the resolution or lower the, the quality of the game. I really wish, some games do give you this option, which is very good. They should give you that option. Sacrifice the quality of the game for frame rate. I would do that. As long as it doesn't look like fucking shit, I'm okay with that. As long as it's still decently viewable, I'm okay with that. Make the sacrifice on the quality side than the FPS side. Now, you may be like, why am I so pissed off with this? Well, Hellblade, the game that's been in works for quite a while. I think the original one ran at 60 FPS. Now, this is obviously an Xbox exclusive. I think it's coming to Game Pass day one, which is a very cool thing. Game Pass day one, it looks like they haven't scrapped that yet. Now, this game is launching in less than a month now. Well, about a month. The 21st of May, 2024, this game will be launching. And, well, we had news, and I kind of expected this to kind of happen. It wasn't something that's out of the blue, and to be honest, I'm kind of surprised a lot of people are pissed off at the fact that it's actually only able to run at 30 FPS. Now, I don't know whether they will give you an option. Again, I wish games would give you an option. Sacrifice the fucking quality. Is it quality or performance? And you can do balanced. And you can do that in GTA 5, the next generation version. You can balance it. You can have it balanced so you get a decent frame rate and you also get decent quality. But you can go performance, boom, it rattles it, and then you can go over quality where you get that buttery smooth quality. I don't get it. You know, I understand there's cutbacks, the CPU may not be strong enough, stuff like that. I don't know whether the Series S is holding it back. Surely, I mean, why don't you just limit that version to 1080p? You know, if it's really holding it back. Or why don't you split the versions? Why don't you split the version? You know, why don't you make a separate version? Because I think they all run off one version. The Series S and X games all run off one version. You know, they're able to play 4K, but you have to have the compatible console to do so. So, if you buy a Xbox Series X game, I think it'll run the same version as the Xbox Series X, just at a lower quality, because it realises your console's maybe not as powerful. Which is fair enough, but I know a lot of people have been speculating that for a while, saying that the Series S, while it is a very good console for the price, and it definitely is a incredible console, you know, it's obvious why Microsoft made it. They knew that they weren't going to do probably very well. They maybe tried to slip a few, you know, in. It's a good console. I do have one, and I actually love it to pieces. It's a great console. I don't expect a lot from it, though, because of the price point. I mean, they are very cheap now in the second-hand market. I've seen some go less than $100, you know. That's without a controller and that, but that's still a very cheap-ass price for one of them. So I don't expect it to, you know, go that deep down. But it's just a bit annoying, you know, if you are an Xbox player and you want to get this fired up, let's go, fire up the Xbox and boom. A lot of people end up playing on 60Hz screens and maybe TVs and stuff like that. Fair enough, but I mean, at least they'd benefit from it, even if it was, you know, not 30 FPS. It's not really, again, like I said, it's not really a shocker. I don't know why people should be shocked. I'm not shocked, I'm just kind of like, why on earth, you know, why on earth has this come down to this? Why on earth has this come down to this? Why are we having to deal with this? You know, these consoles are supposed to be powerful. I mean, again, don't Microsoft, brag that the Xbox Series X is probably one of the most powerful consoles on the market, and I think it is. So if the most powerful, I think it's the Series S holding it back, in my opinion. I do. I don't know if they're going to be honest on it. Again, just release a very lower quality. Like, I don't even think the Series S should just support 1080p. It supports 1440p. It should support 1080p on certain games. You know, surely 1080p, that should run at 1080p, 60 frames per second, pretty well. It should have really been a 1080p console, in my opinion, you know. And I presume a lot of people probably are playing at 1080p, you know, just block it out and, you know, say this game doesn't support 1440p for the Series S. You know, I don't understand, what's so hard about that. I think it's running on Unreal Engine 5. There has been known that Unreal Engine 5 is tanks even some some GPUs. So again, that's maybe why as well. I don't know. Apparently, Unreal Engine 5 really does give your system a run for its money. Again, not really surprised. It's a very technological advanced game engine. It's very powerful for what it is. For the fact that it's a free game engine, and you only have to pay through sales and stuff like that by them taking a percentage, it is probably one of the best on the market right now. And heck, they use it for movies and stuff like that and shows. So it is an incredible piece of technology, an incredible piece of software. But God, it's really giving these consoles a slap. I think there's an article as well. I mean, of course there is. This shit went kind of viral. A lot of people speaking about this and giving their opinion on what they think of it, and rightfully so. People are kind of pissed, and I don't really blame them, to be honest, because, well, why the fuck would you settle? I don't know how much this game will be. It says here, the VFX director says it's to make the game feel more cinematic. Now, I get it, it's a story mode game. Okay, that's fair enough. But if there are fast-paced actions in the sense of you need to act, it's like playing Call of Duty at 30 FPS. You would never be able to do it. It would feel awful. I don't think Call of Duty has ever ran at 30 FPS. It's always, even on the 360, I think it always ran at 60 hertz. So it ran very good. I don't understand. And it's a story mode game, and again, Red Dead Redemption ran at 30 FPS. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of understandable because of how crazy that game was. I mean, holy shit, it had a lot of detail for what it was, so maybe I'm going to accept that for a little bit more. Then again, it was released on a last-gen console, and it could play on an original PS4 released all the way back in 2013. It's not really surprising, to be honest, that it was 30 FPS. Coming from this, though, it's to make the game feel more cinematic. So it's nothing to do with the power of the console. So why the fuck is it 30 FPS then? I still can't understand. If you say the VFX director says it's to make the game feel more cinematic, what the fuck? Give people the option then. If it's at that point, give people the option. Give people the option. Do I want to sacrifice my frame rate for a bit of cinematic, a bit of a cinematic experience? Or do I just want 60 FPS and fuck the cinematic experience? Like, don't get me wrong, I understand, fair enough. It's clear they've got a lot to show off for it, hopefully. If you're talking all this talk, you must have a lot to show for it. For calling it cinematic. If you're risking 30 FPS, slicing it in half for a cinematic experience, let's see what they have in store, because holy shit. Using excuses like that, I don't know about that one. Obviously people are rightfully so pissed. Someone commented on the Twitter, if they can't get a game running at 60 FPS on console, they should toss the idea of developing an Unreal Engine altogether. I mean, look at the disclosure. No one wants a 30 FPS experience. This cinematic excuse is a cop-out. I agree. I very much agree. The cinematic experience, it feels like they're trying to say, they don't want to admit that they can't get it to run at 60 FPS very good, and they can still use the claim that that's the world's powerful console, and it can do, you want to play 120 Hz? Boom. Guess what? Hellblade 2? You can't play. You can't even play at 60. Because guess what? We want you to have a cinematic experience. It just... What? Wouldn't a cinematic experience be 60 FPS? You know, wouldn't it be a very clean experience, a very smooth experience? 30 FPS? Holy shit. Guess what, guys? That's is that the new word now? Are we just calling 30 FPS a cinematic experience? Are we just using words, big words like that to try and slide out of stupidity? What are we going down? Really? Cinematic experience? Holy shit. I think what you need to do is fire that director and tell him to take his cinematic experience and fuck off. Fucking hell. Absolute shite. It genuinely is. It just doesn't make any sense why on earth this would actually run like this. So, IGN did a thing on it. Hellblade 2 confirmed to run at 60 FPS on console. No performance mode available. Why? Could you give us a little bit of a feedback? Oh, we don't want to do it because of this and this, or this and this. You know, don't just come out and give us a bit of a cop out and say the cinematic. You know, we want the game to be very cinematic. Yeah, notice how I keep saying it over and over again because it's fucking stupid. And it's kind of pissing me off, to be honest, because I don't want this to become the new normal. Heck, I'd say, you know, let's be honest. If we're still playing 30 FPS on the next generation consoles, the generation after these shit consoles, I genuinely think we need to pack the bags on console gaming and just fucking throw them out, because holy shit. Come on, man. Like, at this point, just bring a refresh console out, because clearly it ain't fucking powerful enough. Oh, but it's the Series. Don't release it for the Series fucking S then. No, because most of your users probably have a fucking Series S. It's like, just limit the fucking FPS on the Series S and make people on the Series X have the full experience. I don't get what's so fucking hard, Microsoft. Holy shit, it's so annoying. VFX director says he'll make the game. This is from IGN. We have a month and a half till Hellblade 2 is released, and if you were curious to know about the technical side of things, Ninja Theory's highly anticipated game action is locked at 30 FPS. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Why am I not surprised? It has been revealed today that Ninja is locked. I've already read that. If you're playing in the Xbox Series X or S, at that point, just get rid of it on the console. Just release it to PC. Holy shit! Just release it on PC, because you're embarrassing yourself, Microsoft. I know you don't have a great reputation as it is, and you're already just pulling it in the dirt, and you're making people laugh at you. You know, you'd be using words like this is the most powerful thing in the world, the most powerful console in the world, yet it can't even run at fucking 60 frames per second. Fuck the 4K. Holy shit. And, you know, maybe that's the advertisement you shouldn't be doing. Oh, but 4K gaming and, we did it. You know, fuck the 4K. Just fucking release it at 1440p. You know, holy shit, I don't even have a 4K monitor, I have a 1440p monitor to begin with, but speaking to GamePro, Mark Slater, the VFX director for Hellblade 2, confirmed the console version unlocked with a dynamic resolution with no additional graphic options, such as performance mode, available on consoles. However, the PC version is not locked to this feature. Well, then again, I'm pretty sure if they locked that shit on PC, there would be a lot of hell. There would be a big riot if they started locking graphical options on PC. Holy shit, there would be. Such as and the increased FPS can only be achieved on that specific platform. At this point, I think Microsoft is just saying, buy a fucking PC. Is that what you're trying to hint at? Fuck Xbox. get rid of Xbox and buy a fucking PC. Is that what you're trying to hint people are doing? Because it's clearly fucking working. It's clearly working. You're clearly doing the job. You know, you're clearly working it there. Telling people to go and buy a fucking PC, because you may as well. Heck, even a PC that's maybe, 2 years old could run that shit. Man, what are we doing? No graphical options as well. Are you playing Helldivers? Oh, this is the poll. No. This is the poll, so it's IGN's poll. Are you playing Helldivers 2 on the Xbox, despite its frame rate capped at 30? 38% said yes. 31% said no. And 30% said they'd be playing on PC. And that was out of 1,277 voters. Holy shit. Explain that locking the console versions of Hellblade 2 to 30 FPS made the experience feel more cinematic. Ah, yes, because I give a shit about that. Like, don't be wrong. Whoa, having cinematic gameplay is pretty cool. And I guess, to a certain extent, it can be quite crucial to certain parts of the game. But I don't give it. If I'm in a fucking battle, I'm not going to look over. Whoa, look at that cinematic experience. No, I'm busy fucking fighting someone. I don't concentrate on the fucking quality of the game. Holy shit. However, he did not specify if this was due to anything else, such as technical limitations. Again, is this... Are you trying to shy away from the Xbox being underpowered? I don't get it. Using the word cinema, we want it to be more cinematic. Just say that it's fucking weak, the console. Nevertheless, Hellblade 2 is locked at 30 FPS. An interesting choice, and that one most recently. Xbox third-party studio received controversy for when its Redfall was capped at 30 FPS at release. It did get a 60 FPS mode. I have played it. It runs decently, to be honest with you. Again, the reputation of that game already hit ground zero, so there's no point pulling that shit out of the mud right now. Before eventually less than stellar launch. This is most recent controversy for Hellblade 2. As earlier this year, Microsoft and Ninja Theory revealed that when it releases on May it will be a digital-only release. Oh yeah, that's another controversy as well. Fucking hell, yeah, I remember that. Caused a bit of only controversy. Digital-only. It's quite obvious. It's the age of happening. Sorry, you physical owners. I'm a physical owner of some games, and I love that. But I think it's time we accept that. We're going digital. There's nothing really we can do about it. They fucked us in the ass. Aside from running on the Unreal Engine 5, Hellblade is using Epic Games' metahuman animated technology to push the boundaries of real-life facial animation. For more... this advertisements. Let's see what IGN give this a rating out of, because I know IGN, again, have a lot of controversy for how they rate games. Watch them give it something like if they give it a high rating, the game's probably bad. If they give it a low rating, the game's probably good. That's kind of how IGN work. They work opposite, which either that or they're just shills, and they're just getting paid by these companies to give them really high ratings, which wouldn't really surprise me in game journalism, because game journalism is just as bad as the gaming industry at the moment. It's fucking shit. Let's see some of the comments. All these years with development for 30 FPS is fine for games like this. It's going to be slow paced, so it doesn't matter. Not like the... Yeah, but it's just the... Alright, fair enough. Alright, fair enough on the 30 FPS. At least give people an option to sacrifice one thing over the other, though. Remember when next-gen consoles were coming out and all the hype was about 60 FPS? Yeah, that's it. They were hyping this shit up. I was happy. I was like, yes, this is fucking cool. You know, I can now chill and sit back. You know, I've got my PC, but I can now chill and sit back and play games at 60 FPS. This is super cool. Oh wait, I can't because I'm going to have to be forced to play at 30 FPS 3 years later. Sweet. I don't know. In my opinion, it's a bit of a shit show. I wonder what we're going to get, what frame drops it's going to get. That's the only problem with 30 FPS gaming, is the fucking frame drops. Whew. Let's wait on that. Let's have a look and see how the frame drops are going to go. Can't imagine them being incredible, but who knows? 30 FPS, you've got a lot of frame drops to go down to, so who knows? But using excuses like that to make it cinematic, what a joke the gaming industry has become.